Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Morning Report. Today's episode carries one word that captures the mood of way too many moments in our nation right now. The word is unhinged. Think about it. The word describes a door that has lost its anchor. A door doesn't stop being a door, but once the hinge is broken, it swings wildly, slams unexpectedly, and becomes dangerous to anyone standing close to it. That's what politics has become in America. The structure is still recognizable, but the swinging out of control, unpredictable, destructive, and completely unsafe. Over the last decade, we've watched ordinary people, not hardened radicals, not politicians in some smoky back rooms, but neighbors, teachers, accountants, fans at a football game come off the hinges. What should have been debate turns to vandalism. What should have been protest turns into riots. What should have been a difference of opinion turns into calls for violence. This is a story of how politics has infected daily life. Today, I'm going to walk you through a series of episodes from Portland riots, sign stealing shooters, to a teacher making fiery finger gun threats, and finally, a protester literally calling for federal agents to be shot and wiped out. Each one of these could be dismissed as an isolated freakout, but together they paint a chilling pattern. So buckle in. This is Unhinged. Story starts in November of 2026. Donald Trump has just been elected president. Nobody, not the polls, not the media, not the establishment, not you, not me, saw it coming. Well, I did see it coming. And basically, I told my neighbor in January that if Trump survives, if his campaign survives until January, is Katie bar the door because she's going to be president. And he kind of believed me, actually. So I saw it coming. And Shirley Huzar, God bless her dad, she saw it coming. And Portland, Oregon exploded. In those first nights after the elections, protests quickly turned into riots. Baseball bats were swung into plate glass windows. Dumpsters were set on fire in the streets. Rocks were hurled at police. Over $1 million in damage just in those opening days. Local businesses, diners, shoe stores, mom and pop shops suddenly paid the price for voters 3,000 miles away choosing a president that these people didn't like. Police declared it a riot, but the media coverage, you could almost hear a wink and a shrug, nudge, nudge. These weren't insurrections, they were expressions of grief. That language gap matters because when one side's violence gets brushed off as catharsis, it sends a message that is unacceptable. That was the hinge creaking, 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 the door loosening, president being set. Political disappointment could be answered with destruction. Okay, so fast forward 4 years, October 11th, 2020. It's Indigenous People Day. Should be a happy day. Should be a day that they're cheering, because they have thrown out Columbus. It's Indigenous People Day. About 200 protesters in Portland branded the night a day of rage. rage it was. Statues toppled, including Theodore Roosevelt on horseback, even Abraham Lincoln. Hmm? Oh, the dude that freed the slaves. That dude. Yeah, throw him out too. Did he own slaves? Nope. Then why were they? The day of rage. Windows were shattered at Oregon Historical Society. Graffiti scrawled across downtown. One building was lit on fire. This wasn't just property damage, it was symbolic demolition. Roosevelt, a, a conservationist president. Lincoln, the dude that signed the Emancipation Proclamation. Their monuments were ripped down in the name of justice. And even progressive leaders in Oregon had to step back. One Democrat legislator said, the violence doesn't work for us. We cannot tear down the system using fire or rocks or destruction. Well, the translation is, hey, you're undermining your own cause. Yet again, the hinge loosened a little more. If 2016 was a street riot, 2020 became a cultural riot. History itself now was in the crosshairs. Billy Graham famously said that he believed that the next move of God would be believers making a difference in the marketplace. In fall of 2019, Anton Kresick moved to Washington, D.C. He began his career in the political arena. Two things became very obvious. Godly principles were lacking on both sides of the aisle. Many of organizations were putting profits before people. 7 Weeks Coffee was started to reverse this trend and live out Graham's calling as believers in the marketplace. As a value-based business, we have a simple and transparent mission. Donate 10% of every sale to pregnancy care centers across the nations. We are committed to earning your trust, not expecting it. How do we do this? Leading with our values, showing the impact, and providing the highest quality product. I am a Christian, I am a conservative, and 7 Weeks Coffee unapologetically supports pregnancy care centers across the nation. Join us by letting your coffee serve a greater purpose. Let's move to last month, September 2025, in Nantahala Gorge in western North Carolina. Very quiet community until a Georgia man named Benjamin Campbell drove through. He spotted a Trump 2024 banner hanging on some local property, some local private property. Now, in a sane world, you'd roll your eyes if you disagreed, even mutter under your breath some foul thing, and just drive on, right? It's just like what some people do on the internet. Just scroll on. But not Campbell. No, couldn't do it. He stopped, yanked the sign down. And as the homeowner confronted him, Campbell opened fire from his vehicle. Shots sprayed from his sunroof. Think about that. A political banner led to gunfire. A simple expression of speech. A yard sign escalated to violence. Now, the homeowner, Mark Thomas, said he fired warning shots of his own into the air. Pop, pop. What should have been an uneventful afternoon almost turned into a firefight between two civilians because of a piece of fabric with a politician's name on it. We've all seen the videos where people get into, back and forth because someone's wearing a MAGA hat and somebody else just can't take it. You can't wear that. They knock it off their head or they take it. But felony assault charges have followed. Campbell was arrested, thank goodness, extradited from Georgia to North Carolina, and sits waiting on the legal process. But here's the bigger picture. The door had come off the hinge. When neighbors can't tolerate seeing a political sign without reaching for a gun, my friend, society is in deep, deep trouble. Now let's shift to something that's near and dear to my heart: college football. I know everybody's got a problem with football and the NFL. I love me some college football. I do. It's hard to love this season with my Knowles, but I love college football. We're going to shift to a football stadium at James Madison University in Virginia. The Dukes are playing, and in the stands is Winsome Earl Sears. You may not know Winsome Earl Sears, but you should. Virginia's lieutenant governor. She was born in Jamaica. She's a U.S. Marine veteran. She's a conservative Republican. She's black. A fan, emboldened by the crowd, shouts at her, "Go back to Haiti." Okay, number one, she's not Haitian. Number two, she's the duly elected lieutenant governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia. But it doesn't matter. To this man, political difference justifies an open racist insult. So you know what happened next. His employer, check this out, a Lockheed Martin subsidiary. Now, I said Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin is what? Tied to what? Military government contracts, right? They fired him. And good on James Madison, they banned him from all other athletic events. Now we could do a debate whether losing your job for yelling at a football game is proportionate. We could do that. But that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is that political rage mixed with racial hostility turned an ordinary fan into a public spectacle. It cost him his career. Another hinge gone. Another door swinging wildly. Thanks for watching the broadcast today. I'm going to ask you to do one more thing for me. I'm going to ask you to join our Fight Back Media 4,000 Hours Viewed Club here on YouTube. 5 minutes a day of the Morning Report or any of the other Fight Back Media products. Morning Report is the best one and the easiest one. Whether you're watching shorts, whether you're watching long form videos, watch them for 5 minutes and share them with your friends and neighbors and your enemies. That'd be kind of fun. Again, or if you're not on YouTube, you can go to fightbackmedia.com, fightbackmedia.com, and watch from there. Thank you ever so much. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now. This weekend in Chicago, a No Kings rally on the perimeter. A truck drives by displaying a pro Charlie Kirk flag. Out of the crowd steps this woman. Now, she's been identified because everybody can be identified because we are a surveilled society. If you're outside, you've been on camera somewhere. All of us have. She was identified as a K-8 STEM teacher from Nathan Hale Elementary School. And what did she do? She makes a finger gun gesture at her neck and shouts "bang, bang" at the truck as it passes on video. And it goes viral. Think about that for a second. A woman entrusted to teach science and technology to small children in one of America's largest school districts pantomimes a public execution over a political sign. So, of course, the school district scrambled. The school's website went off. The school's website went offline. CPS promised an investigation, but here's the real damage. The kids saw the video. Parents saw the video. The authority figure standing in front of a whiteboard on Monday had just been caught threatening violence on Saturday. When teachers are supposed to be the adults in the room, when they join the circus of unhinged behavior, the message is to the next generation is clear. Rage, normal. Threats are entertainment. And politics excuses it all. Now we arrive at the most explicit moment of all of these. We're back in Chicago. Same No Kings event. A speaker stands in front of a Progressive Labor Party sign and grabs the megaphone and shouts, "You got to grab a gun. We got to turn around the guns on this fascist system. These ice ages got to get shot and wiped out." That same machine, the same machinery that's on full display right there, has to get wiped out. Now, this isn't hyperbole. This isn't satire. This is a call for political assassination, caught on video, shared across social media. Now, of course, Homeland Security flagged it. Law enforcement took notice. And let's be clear, this is where the spiral leads, from vandalism to ridicule to finger guns to actual calls for murder. This is the destination of unhinged politics. And what's worse, the speaker wasn't shouted down, wasn't dragged off the stage as some sort of lunatic. He said it in public with confidence, knowing that nobody would stop him, that everyone would cheer him. This is where we are. So, what ties all this together? 2016 Portland, riots over an election outcome. 2020 Portland, statues being pushed down, history erased. 2025 Trump signed shooter, a banner sparks bullets. Couple days ago, a JMU fan racist taunt at a Black conservative leader. This past weekend in Chicago, with the teacher, with a finger gun on her neck, bang bang, right? And at the same rally, a rally speaker that calls for federal agents to be murdered. Now, some people will say these are isolated incidents. No, they're not. They're rungs on a ladder. Each step more radical, each step more normalized. And at the heart of it, Americans are losing the ability to disagree without destruction, to argue without violence, to let the door swing on its hinge without tearing it from the frame. And we've seen that. We've seen that somehow when people have a disagreement, somebody thinks it's okay, and usually somebody on the left thinks it's okay to actually physically strike the other person, sort of like a child out of frustration. So what do we do with all this? We tell the truth. We have to call it out for what it is. We have to stop pretending that political motivated violence, whether symbolic or literal, is ever justified. We remind ourselves and our children that disagreement is not war, and that speech is not ground for blood. Because once you accept that rage is normal, the next unhinged act is only one protest, one football game, one yard sign away. We need leaders willing to restore the hinges, to hold the frame steady, to insist that politics doesn't give anyone a license to lose their freaking minds in public. Unhinged moments are everywhere. The question is whether America is willing to bolt the door back in place or let it swing until it smashes us all. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Unhinged here on the Morning Report. Thank you for coming today. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sake, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye bye now.